Hello and welcome to Geek News with the three geeks, or now it's like 15 geeks, I guess. We've spawned more geeks on this show than we know what to do with. We're about to have our own Revenge of the Nerds movie. Anyway, I'm Max here with Jason, Mike McGahee from Mike McGee-TV. You can check him out on YouTube. And Philip Ford. Also, we got our special guest here who I don't know, so I can't introduce.
Special guest Rondell, friend of mine. The wives are watching Once Upon a Time, so I saved him and brought him down here with us.
All right.
So let's get into it, fellas. We have. Okay, well, first let's start with last week. So it was announced via Sony leaks that was it Sony or Marvel that did the stipulation that he had to be white and straight?
I don't know the specifics. I think it was like way back in the day, like whatever original licensing agreement they had in place, that they laid down stipulations like Spiderman, the character of Spiderman, bitten by radioactive spider, blah blah blah. Keep to that story, but also like he doesn't deal drugs or do drugs, doesn't drink or smoke, and then amidst all that, doesn't torture or kill his enemies. But then amidst all that, there's two stipulations. Is that Peter Parker, if you're using Peter Parker, he has to be white and he can't be homosexual. So, fun.
Awesome. Let's discuss this because Spider-Man's sexual orientation. Traditionally he's been known to date women, and a Mary Jane that might be transgender would not appeal to children very well. And as far as the race issue goes, we've talked about this to exhaustion on this podcast, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like we're talking about Black Panther or characters that the race is essential to. Max, you look like you have something to say. You got a big grin. I'm just gonna go ahead, buddy.
Oh no, I just thought that a transgender Mary Jane would have been friggin' awesome. That would take the story in a different direction. I want to see that. Like, shame if they have this legal binding document saying they can't do it.
Why does it have to be transgender? Why can't it just be a dude with red hair named MJ and you have no idea what the MJ stands for?
Well, that works too, I guess. But I mean, and with the whole climate is what it is right now, I'd say go for it. Transgender, why not? I mean, it works on Orange is the New Black.
Or Mary Jane could be the guy's nickname. Maybe he's a stoner.
Nah.
That might be a... Oh my. I don't know about that. I think that might be a little too far even for the Spider-Man world, Jason. MJ is Mary Jane. Because he loves the weed. Yeah, I mean, I don't think race should matter, but I think, I don't know, I ran into another thing where I guess Stan Lee made his comments known, which I'm guessing that's probably where some of the stipulation came from, that he disagreed with it. But from his generation, I can kind of understand his perspective, and that was his character, whatever. But I think it should be modernized to some extent. I don't really think they should limit themselves, do whatever they think will make an interesting story. If he happens to be homosexual, okay, do that. Now, whether or not you think it's going to affect the children's perspective, I disagree. I mean, they're going to run into a homosexual at one point in their life or another if they aren't one. I mean, that's just going to happen.
Well, my main beef with this whole thing is it's whoever's best for the job, right? I mean, yeah, Will Smith auditioned for Captain America, and if Will Smith had gotten the role of Captain America, would anybody have been upset? No. So, I mean, why couldn't? You heard rumors of Donald Glover and all these other people auditioning for Spider-Man. I mean, the best guy for the job, whether he's Asian, Jewish, black, or white. I don't understand closing it off so much. I mean, I guess, the tradition of the character is what it is, but there's no reason not to. Same reason we all want Idris Elba as James Bond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at the same time, too, I can't remember if they say exactly when these contracts or when these guidelines are from. They might have altered them at this point or whatever, because this is from the hack, so this might be from how many years ago, maybe even before the reboot. And so the idea that they could try for a different ethnicity for Spider-Man, or even a different sexual orientation, is more plausible now in this day and age and so forth. And honestly, I just want, as long as they stay true to the character. I mean, it doesn't have to be Peter Parker. You got Miles Morales, you got Spider-Gwen, you got his daughter, the Spider-Girl, so whatever, have fun.
Awesome. Max, we lost you for a second, buddy, but you're back. Anyway, when Max is fixing his stuff, let's move on. Rondell, what are your thoughts on the whole Spider-Man issue with the...
I mean, as far as Spider-Man goes, I really could care less. It's just going to be typically a young punk who's going to be sarcastic, and that's all that matters. I mean, whether he's black, white, Asian, Hispanic, I could care less. Hey, switch it up.
How about a gay, black, Hispanic, Jewish kid?
Oh, wow. Really went there.
Is that a thing? We do that? Anyway, let's get on to the real Spider-Man news that everybody wants to know. Is we have our new Spider-Man. This is him right here. His name is Tom Holland, and he looks like the kid that you would put in a locker in middle school.
He looks like Leave It to Beaver.
He does look like Leave It to Beaver. But
clear opposite of what you just proposed.
It's pretty obvious that they're getting this kid for the long haul. You know, Robert Downey's getting older. He's obviously about to jump ship. Chris Evans has expressed interest in jumping ship. So, you know, they see this 19-year-old kid, and they're like, all right, we can get our 20 pictures out of him. He hasn't done anything. He's going to sign on for that Marvel money, you know, quickly and not look back. So, Max, while we have you, what are your thoughts on the casting of this Spider-Man?
Yeah, he looks like a 15-year-old white kid, so super duper. I mean, I guess they really. He looks like a Peter Parker, you know. He could pass for a Peter Parker. All right. But yeah, no, it's all good. I tried to IMDb this guy, and I realized that he hasn't been in anything that you'd recognize. So, hopefully he can act. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Philip, what are your thoughts?
I mean, he definitely looks like a little bit more prototypical Peter Parker than I guess Andrew Garfield did. Because Andrew Garfield actually looks like, if you try to push him into a locker, he could fight you back. This guy, he ends up in the locker. So I think maybe they'll get to that point of it, but we'll have to see. And actually going to your thing, Max, I watched a clip where they talked about it, and I guess he's done mostly British stuff because he is from the UK. And apparently he did a good dramatic movie 3 or 4 years ago, which he did really well in. So he can act dramatically. We'll just have to see what the movie ends up being. Other than that, I mean, I'll wait and see. I mean, I like Spider-Man, but I'm not as hardcore anymore. Not after the last two. So actually, the last three. I really got excited for Amazing Spider-Man. It was okay. I thought the second one would get better. It got worse, and I'm like, wow. We'll have to wait and see what they do. I want to see what Marvel does with it. I trust them a little bit more. So, again, the role, it seems interesting. And I agree with you, Jason. I think they've signed him for forever.
Yeah. He's a lifer.
He is a lifer. He's going to be with Marvel until he turns 60, which, good for him. That's like getting a freaking lottery ticket.
You kind of just want to punch that kid in the face, don't you?
See, doesn't it work?
I say cast Max as Spider-Man.
Nope, I'm too black. Do it.
Mike, your thoughts?
Yep. Well, apparently they didn't veer far from the original guidelines. Yep. Skinny white kid. Yeah, I just want to see him in action now. That's about it.
All right. Next up, sad news actually. James Horner famous music composer for movies, passed away in a plane crash. He is responsible for bringing the scores of Titanic, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Patriot Games, Glory, 48 Hours. So yeah, this guy's been in a lot of movies that we all know. It's sad anytime talent dies. The guy was only 61, I believe, 62, 61. Sorry, yeah, 61. So it's a horrible loss for movies in general. Mike, I actually read this news on your Facebook. So what are your thoughts?
Like I said there, it's like this guy was like one half of the soundtrack of my life growing up. It was like him and John Williams were like the big movie soundtrack people for me because I love movies ever since I was a little kid. So, yeah, I grew up with stuff like Aliens. He did the soundtrack for Aliens and Wrath of Khan you mentioned. I like his Titanic stuff, but honestly, the one that's going to stick with me because, you know, it was the kind of the movie I saw a lot when I was like 4 or 5 was An American Tale. He did the music for An American Tale, and he actually co-wrote the song Somewhere Out There from that, so I'll remember him for that at least. And yeah, just a big body of work, and just, yeah, like you said, it's a shame that, you know, when talent dies, especially prematurely, you know, such as it was with Mr. Robin Williams or Paul Walker and everything like that. And again, another sad one due to circumstances. And thanks for the great tunes, Mr. Horner.
Max?
I don't know if I can even add anything to that. I'm just gonna go with what he said. You know, it's sad time when you lose somebody, and he was a good guy, obviously good at his job. I don't know if he was a good person, but he was definitely good at his job, and yeah, then he will be missed.
Philip?
Yeah, it's sad news to hear what they've hear it is about his passing, especially prematurely. And I'm just rather impressed. I didn't realize how much of his body of work I actually knew until you actually read off a lot of the stuff. And he's definitely got a big resume, and it's sad to see him go.
I got his IMDb page pulled up here. It's pretty cool. He did Avatar, and he did some stuff on Amazing Spider-Man 2. And there is a Star Trek fan-made series, New Voyages. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. These guys, they work their butts off. They release an episode every like 3 or 4 months. He actually did some of the composing for that. So that's pretty cool. Anytime somebody gives back to the fans is awesome.
Yeah, clearly not limited by Hollywood, like wanting to just go all out and share his talent with anyone who has a dream of making something cool.
Yeah. Rondo, anything to add?
Nothing to add to it. Just looking at the list of films that he's contributed to, it's amazing.
Yeah, Karate Kid's another one recently. So yeah, up next, what do we got? We got title for Independence Day 2, Independence Day Resurgence. I'm probably the most optimistic out of all of us for this project. It's almost the same expectations I had for Jurassic World, which I know Max is the only one of us. Well, Mike saw too, and Max absolutely hated it. And Mike was in the middle. But Independence Day, I really want it to be fun. And as somebody, I like Will Smith, but I don't like the ego that he has gotten over the years. And for that reason alone, I'd really like to see this movie do well, just so he could be like, I should have taken that $20 million they offered me instead of holding out for $50. It's like, come on, dude, seriously. And who knows? He probably didn't even get that for Suicide Squad, because the Independence Day stuff started way before Focus failed. But yeah, Max, what do you think of Independence Day?
They should call it Independence Day Regurgitation.
I saw that on another podcast. They said the same thing.
And yeah, no, it's just stupid. It's gonna be dumb. I'm not excited for this movie. It's gonna be really stupid.
Mike?
It's gonna be dumb. I'll probably go see it anyways, just because okay, I saw the first one, so let's see what they do. I would be curious to see what they do differently, but I don't expect it to be anything great. But you know, if you've got Goldblum there Goldbluming the hell out of the movie, cool.
I want to see Goldblum.
I want a surprise resurrection of Randy Quaid's character, honestly.
You have to get him out of Canada.
like he's become like the high leader of the aliens now because he didn't actually die in the first one. He actually became the leader.
It turns out that when you explode a thermonuclear device in the alien beam gun, it sends your particles to the mothership, like the real mothership, and then he gets reassembled over there, and they should have a whole new movie about how Randy Quaid's dispersed particles cause a coup in the alien.
Yeah, Randy Quaid is the John Connor for this. The way John Connor's going to be in the new Terminator. He lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
I think that's what Randy Quaid is doing now in real life, guys. I'm pretty sure. Have you guys seen his YouTube videos? It was like really weird. Rondell, your thoughts on Independence Day 2?
I have absolutely no... I'm really not looking forward to it. It's been so long at this point, it's like, yeah, you're just trying to regurgitate it.
I hope that's so wrong, but you guys are probably all right. Philip, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Roland's just trying to cash in again, hoping he can tie it all together again and get a box office success. But we'll see. I don't have hopes, negative or positive. I just would like it to be a fun movie, but I'll wait and see. And the first trailer will probably give it away, whether or not it'll actually be a fun movie or not. And if they go try to do the whole ID4, don't release anything, like just show snippets of things, and don't have a trailer ever, that'll make me sketchy, and I don't think they'll do that.
All right. Can I finger a bookcase?
No, but I think Mike had touched on this before. Like, is it going to happen on Independence Day again? Like, is July 4th like the galactic universal day for conquest or something like that? I mean, yeah. Even like I don't even know why they had Independence Day in the title. I mean, I understand obviously, I guess because people are stupid and they won't be able to put two and two together, but it just seems like it's not going to have anything to do with the Independence Day anymore.
But then again, what do we know? Because we were, there was a time where we're like, oh, Jurassic World, it might be fun, but it seems dumb, and then it ended up making mountains.
But it is dumb.
It is
dumb.
I wholeheartedly admit it is dumb, but it is fun. I'll say that. But it ended up making like huge mountains of cash, and I'm just like, okay, no one saw that coming. So who knows? Maybe the nostalgia factor will be enough for this too.
I want to be in Independence Day 2. Finger in bookcases, space, Will Smith. Sorry, that's the best I can do. That's my guy. Sorry.
Get Matthew McConaughey's beautiful face off of there.
Oh man. Next up, we've got sad day, especially for somebody who just finished season 1 of this show. Hannibal has been officially canceled by NBC. The showrunner is shopping it around currently. Apparently Amazon is very interested, which is where I'm currently watching it from anyway. Apparently that's where most of the views come from. But this was the best network show on television in a very, very long time. It was dark, gritty, well acted, very well acted. The guy who plays Hannibal took a role that was iconic from Anthony Hopkins and made it his own, which is impossible to do. It's very, very well done show, and I hope it gets picked up. Philip, you are in the same boat as me. You recently picked this show up.
Yeah, so I finally got caught up. I finished season 2 and I started season 3. About an episode behind now, and this news it hurts because it's such a good show. I definitely think it's going to get picked up. I just hope it's somewhere where I can easily watch it without having to subscribe to Amazon again, because outside of this, there's not much else I like to watch on Amazon. So we'll have to see. But otherwise, I mean, it's an amazing show, and it's unfortunate, but I think from everything they've said and I've heard, is it makes enough money overseas that they won't have a problem. It's just trying to get the distribution rights in the U.S. and getting that extra bit of funding to close it out. So we'll have to see.
It's a cheap show to do. That's why they kept it for so long. It was very cheap.
Well, did you hear about it though? That I understand why NBC canceled it, because the season started off lower than the entire last season, and then every episode following this season has just reduced viewers. So they're just like,
where are the viewers going? Like, it's one of the best reviewed shows on network television. Like, why aren't people watching it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is show number 2 that NBC is canceling that I don't get. Like, why cancel Constantine? Why cancel this show? Like, yeah, again, it's different from any other show on television. It's really interesting. Mads Mikkelsen does a great, phenomenal job as Hannibal Lecter, and I mean Lawrence Fishburne's in it. Come on, man! Like, I don't see how the show got canceled. At least for one more season. I don't know. I thought they'd already I thought everything was already in the can for season 3. So I'm really surprised to hear this is what happened. That's crazy. Like, shame on you, NBC. Shame.
They'll get to finish out season 3. That's what NBC said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, they actually.
So I thought they were just like, nope, not even showing it. Wait for the DVD jerks and like flip you off and send you on your way.
No, they moved him to the death slot. It's Friday at 9 or 10, one of the two.
Rondell, have you seen Hannibal?
I actually haven't. I'm probably one of the reasons it's getting canceled. I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, I'm definitely. Hopefully it gets picked up, and I'm trying to catch up and see what I can.
Mike, have you seen Hannibal? I'm guessing you didn't.
Part of the problem as well.
Jesus. Mike, have you seen Silence of the Lambs, though? Were you a fan of those movies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You need to watch that while you're playing Batman.
Okay, that's gonna happen. Like, have it on the laptop in one place, and then have myself playing Arkham Knight and just.
No, that is blasphemy, sir. If you are playing Batman, you give Batman your full attention.
Exactly.
I guess I can't argue with that. So we're gonna do this one really quick. It was dropped online today that Indiana Jones is coming out in 2018. Indiana Jones is not coming out in 2018. Nobody remotely important has anything to do with this. I think like the Key Grip's cousin's best friend's uncle said that this was happening, and it's not yet. Disney, I'm sure, will do it. Right now they're a little bit busy with this little thing called Star Wars that they haven't even blinked yet, especially since Harrison Ford is not coming back to be Indiana Jones. So, anybody want to add anything to this not news?
Yeah, like, you don't need Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones. Like, give Indiana Jones the James Bond treatment. Like, just have somebody else play Indiana Jones. You can have all the fun stories, where he's fighting Nazis. Just throw new people in there. It's not rocket surgery.
I think Indiana Jones's wayward son Mutt said it best. Just do it!
Good times. That's all I got on my end. Philip, do you have anything in the world of video games?
I got nothing. What? What's going on this week? Batman. But Batman Arkham Knight. I was just hoping we could get, like, Max to lose his mind over there. It didn't happen yet.
No, I'm in public, so there won't be any real flipping out today.
But yeah, so unfortunately, Gamefly being Gamefly, mine's in the mail, so I haven't had a chance to play it. But I know Mike has, and I'm sure Max has, right?
I hate to admit that I don't have a next-gen console, so I can't play these games. I'm just gonna, cry myself to sleep every night until I buy an Xbox One.
All right, Mike.
I actually I bought my Xbox One last week because I've been meaning to upgrade for a while, and I finally was able to do it. And then, coincidence, I was able to get a pre-order and get it at midnight last night, and I started playing in the wee hours of the morning. And actually, I stopped playing about half an hour before you guys called. So it's a fun game, man. It really is. The amount of detail, like I didn't want to advance to the next level from the opening scene in the diner. And I'm just playing a cop in a diner. I didn't want to go beyond that because there's so much detail just in that diner. That was so awesome. And then the story itself, I mean, it's a pretty good story, but I'm there for the fluid combat. The moves are so slick and so amped up from Arkham City. Funny enough, the one thing that is kind of bogging the experience down for me is the thing that everyone was kind of promoting was the Batmobile. The Batmobile controls are great. It's a fun way to travel around this vast city, but there's way too many. At this point, I'm in the game where I'm at. There's way too many missions involving the Batmobile. Like so far, all of the Riddler challenges I've been doing involve having to drive around the Batmobile in like racetracks underground or something, which is cool. But then it gets kind of repetitive at times. The combat in the Batmobile gets a little repetitive, but it's still okay. It's just the one little quibble I have with it. With regards to the story, there's some pretty intense stuff that's going. Like I don't know. I kind of want to finish all my side missions first because I'm kind of afraid that Batman might actually die in this.
Wow.
Things are kind of gearing up, like heading that way, because there's a couple things that have happened. I'm not going to spoil too much, but like there's a major character bites it, and I'm past that point, or it appears that this person bites it, and I'm not entirely sure how that plays out. I'm pretty sure I know who the Arkham Knight is. Because this game is traveling down memory lane way too much.
Okay.
And dropping way too many hints. Like, listen to the Arkham Knight talk, and try to imagine if there's another character from the Bat universe that sounds that arrogant and abrasive. And you're probably correct. But yeah. So, it's a fun game so far, and I look forward to the wee hours of the morning playing it again.
Nice. Is the world more interesting than Arkham City? Because that was my only complaint with Arkham City.
Yeah, the world is a lot more interesting. There's a lot more locales that are really kind of cool. Like, I get to go to Wayne Tower and talk with Lucius Fox for a bit and get upgrades from him. I get to travel to an orphanage, and there's this kind of mission where you got to save Catwoman from a Riddler trap, but it's like several different stages you got to accomplish. So every once in a while you got to travel back to this orphanage and meet up with her. There, the details like great, but again, another kind of fun little twist. Halfway, or not halfway, but about halfway through my playing experience, is you end up getting advice and some commentary from an unlikely source.
Okay.
And it's kind of a treat. It's kind of a treat for me as a Batman fan, as this character comes in and kind of gives their 2 cents on what's going on pretty constantly. And I thought it was just going to be a kind of a one-scene exchange, but no, they're with you for a long haul, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Is it Batmite?
It's Aunt Harriet, surprisingly enough, not Batmite.
Is it really Aunt Harriet?
Yeah.
It's not Aunt Harriet, is it?
No, Aunt Harriet's the Arkham Knight, actually.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah, anything else, Phil?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, other than like a special edition of Far Cry 4, Ride came out, which is a motorcycle game that doesn't really look that good. And then I think that's it. Other than, I think it's another special version of, Final Fantasy XIV Haven Sword. That's weird. It's not Haven Sword, it's Haven Sword. That came out this week. Otherwise, that's all I got, Jason.
Awesome. Let's get into the last thing that we're going to discuss today. It was for Father's Day. I was sitting on my couch and I decided to watch movies, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was the focal point of my movies. You can see him up there in the background on the left. And, I watched Double Impact, and then I sat down and watched Street Fighter with my stepson. He's like, this movie's awesome. I'm like, no, this movie's horrible. But it's called a guilty movie pleasure. And I explained it to him, and I'm like, yeah, we should do this topic on our podcast. So, yeah, one of the ones I got is Street Fighter or anything else starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's pretty much a guilty movie pleasure of mine. The movie She's All That is another guilty movie pleasure of mine. It's my top 4 M. Night Shyamalan movies of all time. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I saw that in theaters with Max. We watched that together. It's a good time. It's definitely a guilty movie pleasure.
Whatever, that movie sucks. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about the time you and I saw She's All That.
Yeah, that movie did suck.
That's one of my guilty pleasures. Rondell, you got any?
I can't come up with any off the top of my head. I'll probably put this up again.
All right, Max, what do you got?
The Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg. That's one of my guilty. I freaking love that movie, and I don't know why. And Lou Diamond Phillips is my favorite part of that movie, and he's just the absolute worst.
Lou Diamond Phillips is an awesome side character always.
Puppet Master franchise, another one of mine. Mike, what do you got, buddy?
I was actually perusing my shelves to see Cobra.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
It is the most stock Stallone movie ever. Like he's not even trying, but it's so much fun.
Oh, dude, every line is a one-liner.
Commando.
Yeah.
Commando.
The most stock Arnold movie with music by James Horner. So
Let off some steam, Bennett.
exactly, you got to enjoy it. And Bennett's face with a knife. I'm gonna kill you! Like, yeah. Like, I love that. Kiss of the Dragon, Jet Li and Bridget Fonda. I love that movie.
That movie sucks.
It takes place in France, and no one even tries to be French.
What's the French guy's? There's one French guy, and even he's not French in that movie.
He's totally not. No, he's not even French too. He's like Ukrainian or something. The actor, but he's trying to be French, but it's so obviously not a French accent. And not even like the Chinese people don't even speak in Chinese. They just speak broken English. And finally, this one called Southland Tales. It's from the director of Donnie Darko, his sophomore attempt. I think it only made like $300,000 at the box office. But
I
this
really
movie,
we're gonna say 1,000 at the end of that.
man, this movie has everybody in it. It's got Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean William Scott, Mandy Moore, Dwayne Johnson, John Lovitz, Sherry O'Terry, Kevin Smith, and for good measure, Justin Timberlake. And I have no idea what it's about. It's sci-fi. It's about perpetual motion machines. It's about time travel. It's about alternate realities. It's about 2 hybrid cars having sex. I'm not joking. They come up with a car commercial where one of the cars gets up on top of the other car, and the exhaust pipe turns into something. So it's weird. And
What movie is Southland Tales, right?
Southland Tales.
You
Yeah.
sold me at the car.
Yeah,
show.
you've already sold me as well.
It goes nowhere. It accomplishes nothing, and I don't even know what it's about. But I had a blast with just how crazy it was and how much everyone's trying to do something with it.
Philip?
So my first one, see how many people remember this one, Taxi, with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah.
Oh, wow.
I just love that movie just because that is Jimmy Fallon being Jimmy Fallon from SNL, which is hilarious because he's actually awesome as a late-night host. And then 3,000 Miles to Graceland, the Elvises that rob a casino. I just love the cheesiness of that, and I love how well each of them look. The only person they really needed was Nicolas Cage, dressed up like Elvis. That was the only person they were missing. And then the Silent Hill series. The first one was okay and bearable for a comic book, or not a comic, a video game movie. The second one, oh my god, it was them cashing in. They're like, holy crap, we made money, and it's so awful. But some of the moments I just love it when they're just so cheesy. I just love cheesy horror movies sometimes, and that one I had to put in there. And I went and actually looked up my movies to make sure they were horrible, or at least certified rotten on Rotten Tomatoes to make sure.
Philip just reminded me of another one of mine, the Resident Evil franchise. Like, none of them are great movies, but for some reason I watch them every time they release a new one. It's time.
Yeah, either next year or the year after, you're gonna get another one.
I heard. It was supposed to be this year, and then
she got pregnant. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much my list. Because the other one that I thought about is Highlander. But I was actually surprised. That one is actually, like, I got a 69 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not Highlander 2? That's a guilty pleasure, probably.
That is
very guilty.
Yeah, so I've tried to watch. So what's funny is I remember liking that as a kid. Like, I remember liking Johnny Dangerously as a kid. And I remember liking, oh god, what was the other one? And I've tried to watch them as adults. And it's just like, oh my god, why did I like this? It's so hard.
Johnny Dangerously is so awesome.
Oh my god, man, no it's not. See, that's a guilty pleasure.
Johnny
That's a true guilty pleasure.
I'm not guilty about that. That movie's awesome.
Another one, Mortal Kombat, is another guilty pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Anything with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it.
That's what I said.
I like Kickboxer and the one where he's twins.
Which one?
Double Impact. Double Impact.
Not Double Team? You know, like the...
No, Double Team was with Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
How about Sudden Death?
I love Sudden Death. Van Damme's Die Hard.
That was a good one, yeah. Maximum Risk with Natasha Henstridge.
Oh, yeah. That was Maximum Risk.
Maximum Risk, yeah. I like that one, too.
What was the movie where he ripped off himself later on in his career? I can't think of it.
JCVD.
Yeah.
That movie's not a guilty pleasure because it's got like a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I haven't seen that yet. I want to see it real bad.
I have it. I'll watch it with you. So, yeah, anybody have anything else to add? Did you think of any?
I mean, Jason, did you tell them that you have a picture of Jean-Claude Van Damme on your mantle?
Oh, he showed it.
Right there. Next to my Dragon Zord.
Oh, you took it off of the mantle with the pictures of your family?
Well,
because that's where it used to be.
Well, he got pissed off and karate chopped one of Liz's candlesticks over, so he had to go down to the basement because he broke it. He was banished. True story. Anyway, that is the cast for today. Thank you for joining us. Go to YouTube and check out Mike at youtube.com/MikeMcGTV. He's got some awesome reviews. I'm hoping to see a Deadly Adoption on there sometime this week. I should guest on that with you, Mike. That'd be fun.
Should. We'll work out something.
Cool. Max, do you have anything to say about one of our sponsors?
Yeah. Let me. Is my mic on? Okay, awesome. Yes. So, Game Island, which you can see right here, it's a kiosk at the Polaris Fashion Mall. We've got all kinds of fun stuff for you, all kinds of stuffed animals and plushies for the kids, and games, and we have retro video games here at Game Island. You can get your all kinds of retro video gaming materials, all of your accessories and needs for video games are right here at the Game Island.
Was that Sonic 3D Blast in the background I saw?
Sonic 3D Blast. Yeah, it was right here. This going on.
Oh man.
Yes, it was, sir.
That
and
game
good eye, sir. Good eye.
I just remember that game made me so motion sickness.
But yeah, Game Island. GoGameIsland.com.
Thank you, Rondell, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
For all of us, have a great night.